He said, "You're just like me, trash." Oh, that shit was funny. I think Mo's on a different account. What's up, Southern Fried? Um, Waiting on everybody to come in so we can get this little lecture off. We're just running back the stuff that we already did on a live before, but as always, we let people come on the platform. I can't even. I'm not. I can't even say we let people because a lot of times when we do like the stuff we normally do, somebody get one of the people to get banned. When a guest get banned, TikTok won't let you download the live. So, I don't know. Come in here eating that. Go on. Son, what you doing?
Trying to charge my phone, y'all.
Oh, you good? We waiting on Mo. Mo's supposed to go first anyway. I did screen record them, and for some reason they ain't showing up.
What are you talking about? Your lives, man?
Yeah, the ones y'all broke down that information on.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
screen recorded all y'all, well, all of us, and for some reason they didn't show up.
Yeah, man, that's crazy.
What up,
Let me see.
artists? Hell, ain't none of us ready.
Well, tonight,
Yeah,
peace, family, peace in the chat, peace in the chat. Yeah, I had my stuff still saved, so it shouldn't be that hard for me to go get this.
bro, I don't
I
even
got
know
my
what my
spot.
shit is. All right, I see it. I found my stuff.
Where is? Okay, okay.
Bro, where the fuck is Batai at?
Man, just wait till they get here. You can run out with it. Okay.
No, we not debating nobody. Unspoken reason, we not debating nobody today.
We're just going over the information and
Yeah.
putting this out.
Little girl, stop yelling. Now I got a video I want to post, but it won't let me post it. It keep talking about it's a copyright of sound, and there's no sound in the video.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what's going on. I'll probably have to just download it to the YouTube. But when you see that shit, you're like, yeah, bro. I see why they won't let you post it. Ah,
Oh yeah, I'm sure that shit crazy. All right, let me see what this is about.
nah, what? I don't forgot what I was about to say. Yeah, I only started doing them videos because they started with us. I didn't start with them.
Yeah, we had to put our death row videos out.
Yo, y'all hear me?
Nah, I think it was Earthspeaks put out the African video, that Pan African video talking about white people, Europeans created Pan Africanism or whatever, and then you blocked me. So hey, here come the videos. So I'm gonna be respectful today, so we don't get big.
Can y'all hear me?
Yeah,
All right, I'm looking for
Yeah.
my other earpiece. I'm clear though, right? Y'all can hear me straight.
yeah.
All right, I'm gonna just use one earpiece. Fuck
Uh,
it. My daughter probably took my case. Make sure I'm plugged in.
Oh, PlayStation.
I want to get something to sit this up. See if I can prop my phone up so I can just keep reading.
I don't think the talk's showing up.
where Van at? He's up here, y'all. If we get Van, uh, uh,
Nah, he
What
ain't get
happened?
there.
No, I'm probably gonna have to hold
if
this.
he can't come up here, he should do the DNA jump.
Let me know when you're ready so I can start screen recording.
All right, let me see if I can get the good angle on this shit. What the fuck was that? All right, can y'all see? Let me see. Hold on, let me test this. Don't record yet. Let me just see. Can y'all see that good?
Yeah.
tenets of Mormonism are in direct
That's straight.
conflict with biblical Christianity. The following piece
All
of
right.
animation, based...
Let me go to the back one there. And again, as always, just for good measure, we're gonna play this again. But go ahead, tell me when you start recording.
Hold on. All right. Give me. I gotta find the damn button first.
Is my background loud? It's a truck outside.
Yeah, you good.
I used. But they said they want to do one-on-one,
Huh?
so they can see the screen bigger.
Oh, one at a time?
Yeah.
All right,
Gonna
just
back
drop
out.
down. Yeah,
Yeah.
just drop down.
Drop down, Port,
Alright.
and then when he done, you gonna come up.
All right, bet.
That's bigger?
Yeah.
Is that good, or do y'all want me to hold it? Because I can hold it if you really.
That's good, bro.
I just don't feel like holding that shit. I just want to go ahead and toggle this shit. But yeah, tell me when you recording. Did you start it yet?
Yeah.
Man, when I said tell me when you started it, I was sitting here waiting. Look, delete that and start it over. Delete, because
This nigga.
that's going to take up too much space. I said tell me when to go.
I did. I said go.
I didn't hear him say nothing. Oh, shit.
Hold on. Said to start recording. All right, go ahead.
All right.
Love it. So he kept on talking about I'm not gonna be able to pull out no old bones out of America. I was just sitting there smiling. I said, you just really don't know shit about me, though. I said, there's a reason my brother X and Mofactz, nobody don't want to fucking debate me.
Now, the key part I want y'all to focus on, not just him lying about that debate and shit, but also these bones.
So he kept on talking about I'm not gonna be able to pull out no old bones out of America. I was just sitting there smiling.
No old bones out of America. What the fuck that dude talking about? Okay, but now we're gonna go to this, and this is something that y'all gotta look at to keep in mind. Let me slide this over a little bit. My bad, y'all. If that truck is loud as shit, I don't know what the fuck they doing right now.
Regardless of its Christian veneer, the basic tenets of Mormonism are in direct conflict with biblical Christianity. The following piece of animation, based directly on actual Mormon publications, highlights these major doctrinal differences. Mormonism teaches that trillions of planets scattered throughout the cosmos are ruled by countless gods who once were human like us. They say that long ago on one of these planets, to an unidentified god and one of his goddess wives, a spirit child named Elohim was conceived. This spirit child was later born to human parents who gave him a physical body. Through obedience to Mormon teaching and death and resurrection, he proved himself worthy and was elevated to godhood as his father before him. Mormons believe that Elohim is their heavenly father and that he lives with his many goddess wives on a planet near a mysterious star called Kora. Here, the God of Mormonism and his wives, through endless celestial sex, produced billions of spirit children. To decide their destiny, the head of the Mormon gods called a great heavenly council meeting. Both of Elohim's eldest sons were there, Lucifer and his brother Jesus. A plan was presented to build planet Earth, where the spirit children would be sent to take on mortal bodies and learn good from evil. Lucifer stood and made his bid for becoming savior of this new world. Wanting the glory for himself, he planned to force everyone to become gods. Opposing the idea, the Mormon Jesus suggested giving man his freedom of choice, as on other planets. The vote that followed approved the proposal of the Mormon Jesus, who would become savior of the planet Earth. Enraged, Lucifer cunningly convinced 1/3 of the spirits destined for Earth to fight with him in revolt. Thus, Lucifer became the devil and his followers the demons. Sent to this world, they would forever be denied bodies of flesh and bone. Those who remained neutral in the battle were cursed to be born with black skin. This is the Mormon explanation for the Negro race.
Okay, so we're going to stop it right there. Now, there's a reason why, and it's all going to tie in together once we go through this. Get back to these slides. This guy right here is the author of this book right here. Okay. And this is where Mr. Yahweh, Natural King Lord Yahweh, Elohim, Elion, Jesus, whatever the fuck his name is, whatever he's doing, whatever. This is where he's getting this information from. Okay. And all I'm doing is going in the book and showing you what this guy was talking about in the book and how they came to their conclusions to even conclude at a theory. So this guy is an author. He's a writer. It says right here, Daniel Lowe Daniel Lowe teaches writing at the Community College of Allegheny County in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and received his MFA in fiction writing from the University of Pittsburgh. Daniel Lowe lives in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, where he has taught writing at the Community College of Allegheny County for 25 years. For more than that, he has been writing in relative obscurity, though his poetry and fiction have appeared in literary magazines including West Branch, The Bridge, the Patterson Literary Review, Ellipsis, Bluebeam, Midway Journal, and the Madison Review. He enjoys hours spent with his family and all that other good juicy shit. So this guy's not an archaeologist. He's not a paleontologist, a paleogenomics, genomicist, however you say it. He's none of this stuff, right? And this is the quote. I want to go to the quote that is put in the beginning of his book by this guy right here. This guy, his name is Todd Strong. He's a residential land expert in Syracuse, Utah, right? And we know about that Utah talk. So obviously this guy is part of, in my opinion, this guy is part of this whole sham because he's in Utah. He probably has some weird ass beliefs as well. So this is what he says in the beginning of his book. Todd says, forbidden histories. And this is Todd. This isn't Daniel. Daniel's the author, and Todd is the person from the land expert from Utah. It says, forbidden histories of the Americas is like a giant jigsaw puzzle that you can't stop working on. one you can't wait to finish, so you will finally know what the picture will be. Dan has found clues scattered throughout history, archaeology, geology, anthropology, and religion, then fit them together into such a compelling theory, one has a difficult time arguing against it. Okay? So, in the beginning of the book, the person who's giving him a forward is saying that it's a theory. And he's putting things together from anthropology. Not that he's an anthropologist, he's a great biologist or geologist. None of that. He's a writer, and he's putting together a story. And this is some of his new stuff that he has going on right here. This is his new book. Let me slide that over just a little bit so you can see it. All That's Left to Tell. You know, and most of his books are like novels. Every night, Mark Laurent, an American taken hostage in Pakistan, is bound and blindfolded. And every night, a woman he knows only as Josephine visits his cell. At first, her question or her mercenary, is there anyone back home who will pay the ransom? Like, this dude is a writer. So when you read this book, if anybody goes and gets this book, it's going to waste a lot of your time. But if you read it and then you go read, you know, some of his other works, you're going to see that he knows how to put a story together. And that's what he's doing. And this is also what Daniel Lowe states in his book. It is a choice to be taught to believe in a thing or educated to believe in a popular, often with motive, way of thinking, excusing the existence of a God. So yes, I will defend my God against those who would diminish, excuse, discount, or reject him from his involvement in all things. So he's telling you what his mission is, what his goal is. And he goes into more detail, again, with another quote from his book. He's saying, it is what seems to be an effort to destroy the concept of God in the mind of the people for the sake of religion, for the religion of evolution. Everything and anything that might give credence to the existence of a God or credibility to the history of the Bible or Book of Mormon. Keep that in mind. Book of Mormon or any religion of Christ is quickly silenced, destroyed, or hidden. Hence to the title of his book, Forbidden Mysteries and all of that, right? He thinks that there's this big cover up for some reason. And we're gonna find out exactly what happened. So this is a little bit of what he's saying, right? Daniel Lowe states, according to the Aztec record, the Book of Mormon, there we go again. According to the Aztec record and the Book of Mormon, these people arrived on the continent about 2400 BC, being the most ancient of the Americans, as there is no original. All people on this land migrated here from another continent. So not only is he saying some shit that doesn't even make any damn sense, that someone got here in 2400 BC, that is way off, right? But he's also saying that they came from somewhere else. And this is the book that this guy decides to use. Don't get it. They both just shooting themselves in the foot. Okay, and these are some, images of these people. The following images may be more accurate, maybe a more accurate rendition of the later group of Pueblo people than those which have been used in the past. And this is the same source, Forbidden History of the Americas, more evidence of ancient American geography and the advanced civilizations of the first Americans, page 8 by Daniel Lowe, 2019. Okay. This is some of the things where he got caught, in a lie. Not only him, but other people who brought the shit up. It was already debunked, so he's using it after it's debunked. And the reason why I'm going to say, in my opinion, that he knew it was debunked is because he did not provide the source. I found the source very quick, and it was debunked a long ass time ago. So I don't know why I don't understand how he couldn't find it. If he would have used the source, it revealed that it was debunked, because someone else who would try to go look for it, like I did, which it took a little bit longer. If he would have gave me the direct source, or gave the readers the direct source, then they would have found out it was debunked already. So that's why he says this. These relics here are supposedly these, crosses and pendants and swords, daggers and stuff with Greek, Hebrew, and Latin writing on it that are found in the Americas. And I think in Tucson, they're called the Tucson relics. They were found here way before and dated back way before they were supposed to be here, allegedly, right? We're going to get to what happened. But this is what he states about it, right? He says, I do not know the source material of the information in the article provided by the individual who wrote the article, but I and my wife have followed up with our own research and continue to do so to this day, as the people mentioned are her ancestors, and we find that the people are in fact real, and we find hints of the whole story in many places. I don't know what the hell that even means, but I went to go find the shit my damn self. And this is this is what happened. My shit is still out of order. I thought I fixed this shit, but it's all good. We're gonna navigate. Okay, so this book is Dubious Archaeology, right? And they had a look at these relics. They looked at the writing that was on them, and this is what they concluded. It says, when experts in Latin, Roman history, and archaeology and Southwest prehistory examined the Tucson artifacts, they declared them to be complete nonsense, not just fakes, but bad ones at that. When a University of Arizona professor and a highly respected Latin scholar, Dr. Frank Fowler, pored over the inscriptions, he discovered that, taken together, the writing made no sense. The inscriptions did not represent a comprehensive or comprehensible message, but were instead a jumble of largely nonsensical and disconnected, discontinuous phrases. And this is why. Because it was plagiarized. It was plagiarized. It was taken to create the idea that these people who spoke Latin and Greek came over here. And this is what they did. They took it from these 3 books right here. It's in the encyclopedia. I didn't dig that up. These are the sources from the encyclopedia for the professionals who dug and found the sources of those same phrases. The same phrases. It was used in a class setting to teach someone how to talk in that language. So it says, but the argument for fakery seems to have been cinched when Fowler discovered that all the individual Latin phrases inscribed on the artifacts had been lifted verbatim from 3 Latin textbooks. And these are the 3 Latin textbooks right here. So he took some shit that somebody put together to teach a class, right? So the Tucson artifacts are another example of attempts to connect an ancient old world culture to America long before the voyages of Christopher Columbus. Like so many of the others, the Tucson artifacts are frauds. I want you to hear that again. This shows you that this is not new. All the black indigenous people peeking through the window and all of that shit, pay attention to this. The Tucson artifacts are another example of attempts to connect an ancient old world culture to America long before the voyages of Christopher Columbus. Like so many others, the Tucson artifacts are frauds. Further reading for thorough and extremely well-written debunking of the Tucson artifacts, see the published article in 2009, y'all, in the Journal of Southwest titled Romans in Tucson. Okay. So next what we're going to get into is, this is strange right here. I forgot I had this slide. I don't know why I didn't show it the last time. This is strange because this dude, you know how they brag about the maize, right? The maize and the milpa and all of this stuff. The guy in this book, Daniel Lowe, in Forbidden Histories of the Americas, he's saying it is widely known and believed that maize or corn originated in the Americas. And what is known to those in the East until and was not known to those in the East until the European migrations beginning with the Spanish. This is simply not true. There are obvious renditions of what can be maize in Egypt, Iraq, ancient. But how in the world is my battery dying? Hold on. My bad. That's probably what failed my battery pack. Technical difficulties. Hold on. That must have been the Most High. Hold on. He in the way. The Most High be bugging y'all. All right, so yeah, where was I at? This is simply not true. There are obvious renditions of what can only be maize in Egypt, Iraq, ancient Babylon, even as far back as 900 BC. Let me make sure this shit is charged, because I ain't trying to have this shit black out. Okay, now, I know for a fact this right here is wheat. Okay, so that's bullshit.
they had wheat in Egypt.
Yeah, that's wheat. That's not maize. Now, this stuff over here, I got to investigate that and see what's going on. But the point of it is, whether it's true or not, this is what this guy is saying. He's not supporting what these people are talking about. They're using his book and he's talking against them. It's like, I don't understand why they're using this shit. Corn is in, but you can't put corn over there if you're trying to say everything started here. This is not a good source. So, who is Dr. Jockman? First of all, Dr. Jockman is not a damn doctor. And that's probably why he didn't want to provide the source for this information either that we're about to get into with the millions of years old bones, right? Although Dr. Jockman writes as though human remains and artifacts are hundreds of thousands or millions of years old, it is clear from his conclusion that he considers this world to be young in accordance with the normal straight reading of the Bible and its genealogies. I do not have any background on nor contact with Dr. Jockman. I cannot contact the Forgotten Ages Research Society of Lincoln, Nebraska, USA, which I understand originally published the booklet. The booklet was available through the Bible Science Association sometime back. So I found this dude, and these sources that he was talking about in the debate with Portcity and saying it was millions of years old, 90 million years old, 100 million years old. That was from the book of Forbidden or Archaeology or whatever, Forbidden Histories. But he didn't show where he got that from. So I had to go find this guy. And I found out that, where we at? Who is Dr. Jockman? We're going to get to this next, but we got to go here first. This dude, Dr. Jockman, is actually Joseph Robert Jockman. Right? He's not a doctor. He put that's why he didn't want that paper to be put out there and take the credit for it. Who the hell would do that? They know if he puts the paper out there, people like us who really, really study, and a person who was just speaking that I quoted from, which is the person who originally found this person so I could find that work, we're going to dig and look. We're going to try to find who this person is so we can go and see, like, are they credible? Did you do any more work? Where are you today? Did you do a revision of your work? Is there any updates? He knew we were going to look for him. That's why he published it under Dr. Jockman and didn't put his full name. He don't want you to find him. It's a hoax. It's fake. He wants to put something out there so believers can try to have something to prove this Mormon ideology, right? Now, the creation flood model offers a workable solution. I want you to keep this in mind because this is, matter of fact, no, we got to go back up here first. Let's do this first. Okay, so this is the proper citation, what I just gave you. I gave you Dr. Jockman, and it's down here at the bottom. It's called Jockman's Strange Relics from the Depths of the Earth, United States Bible Science Association, 1981. That's the source of it. That's the actual source. This source right here is tertiary. This is a tertiary actually source. It's tertiary because it's part of a compilation of a whole bunch of information like an almanac or an encyclopedia. That's what that Forbidden Histories of America book is. It's a whole bunch of information piled up. It is not the secondary source. It's tertiary. So that's not even a proper source. But I'm still going to source the source for the source. Since, people had an attitude about it. I'll give you all the page numbers for this, but we're going to run through it. At best, as can be concluded, the vein, and these are the bones. Remember the bones he was talking about in the beginning? This is the bone stuff that he's talking about. He said, at best, as can be calculated, the vein in which the items were situated was 135 million years old by present geological standards. It says the vein in which they were situated, not the bones. Second one, compounding the mystery further was the fact that the rock in which the bones were found was dated geologically to the era of the dinosaurs, the Jurassic, over 185 million years old. The rock. What astounded Booth was the layer in which both portions were dug up was the second saccharoidal sandstone of the Lower Silurian, dated an incredible 425 million years old. It's talking about the Lower Silurian, the saccharoidal sandstone. It's not talking about the bones. He never produced any bones. It's the Carbonaro effect, if y'all know what that is. It's a fucking hoax. And this is what his point is, right? If you read to the end, he tells you what he's concluding, what his point is, what he's trying to, his statement, right? So he goes through all of those different things in the book. It's not just those 5. There's like 28 of them, maybe even more, right? And at the end, he concludes, he gives you the evolution model, he gives you the multiple creation model and everything. He runs through it and he says that this is the only one that can explain it. Dr. Jockman is actually Joseph Robert Jockman, and he says this. He said, the creation flood model offers a workable solution to the mystery of the out-of-place fossil relics, which is also consistent with the observable geologic phenomena based on the catastrophic premise. The model also explains similarities and parallels between the out-of-place finds in diverse layers, which no other model can do. And this is what they're saying right here. I'm going to have to pick this up for a second. This right here, as you can see, is before the flood. He's saying that these people were walking around here. When you see feet inside of the stones and all of that, this is their explanation for it. People who just read religious texts, for some reason they want to answer these damn questions. Oh, well, maybe we were walking around on that. We were walking on it before he flooded the earth. That's what happened. That's his answer. And then since we were already walking on that, and the earth is older than us, when we stepped on it and the cataclysm happened and all of that shit, then we end up later finding our feet encased in things that are millions of years old because we were walking on it. That we didn't even need water. Remember, we're in paradise, and then we messed up and made a mistake. So the stuff is it's Snell knowledge. Development, implementation of absolute dating. Okay, so scientists. Development and implementation of absolute dating methods. This is what really happened. Okay, we're going to get into what happened. Scientists first developed absolute dating techniques at the end of the 19th century. Before this, archaeologists and scientists relied on deductive dating methods such as comparing rock strata formations in different regions. Chronometric dating has advanced since the 1970s, allowing far more accurate dating of specimens. You keep hearing that over and over. Accurate, more accurate, development, new science, new study. You keep hearing them say that when it comes to dating bones. Okay, absolute dates are also relative dates in that they tell which specimens are older or younger than others. Absolute dates must agree with the dates from other relative methods in order to be valid. This dating technique was first conducted by Hare and Mittier in 1967 and was popular in the 1970s. So what is actually happening here and here and here with all these dates is you're dating rocks. You're not dating people. We don't have that dating method yet. So you're not dating bones. You didn't present any bones. You presented rocks, and rocks are always going to be millions of years old. This is nothing. Okay? See, deductive dating methods. Determining age. If a rock has a parent-daughter ratio 1:3, a parent proportion 25%, and the half-life is 57 million years old, how old is the rock? 25% means it is 2 half-lives old. The rock is 57 times 2 equals 114 million years old. The rock, they don't smell what the rock is cooking. We need bones. We want bones, right? We're going to hear some more of this same language. Okay, dating human remains, 2006. Source, direct dating human fossils, AMJ, physicist, Anthropol, 2006, supplement 43-2, yada, yada, yada. And I'm just going to cut it short here. I'm not going to read this whole thing because this is going to be too long. Recent advances, you see, there goes that same type of wording again. Recent advances in ultrafiltration techniques have expanded the dating range of radiocarbon. It now seems feasible and reliable reliably date. Now seems feasible to reliably date bones up to 55,000 years. New developments in laser ablation, mass spectrometry permit the in situ. And in situ means that the bones that they're finding are in place. Keep this in mind. They're in the place. Like if something happened to a tribe in the Amazon, right? And everybody just gets wiped out for whatever reason, a plague, virus, a war, or something. You're going to see bones, you're not going to see like one person's bones just sitting somewhere. You're not going to see it in a random place. You may see that happen, but most of the time you're going to find groups, clutters. You're going to find families. People bury their people here in a specific spot, but in a specific way. They have food containers, vases, carvings, wall paintings. They have their pots that they were cooking in. They have their books, languages. They have their clothing material. They have all types of things. Their weapons. You see what I'm saying? Areas where they give birth. Places where they make their drinks, filter their water. It's going to be in situ. It's going to be in its place, not someone planting something somewhere or some random bone at a random location, right? So it says in situ analysis. They are specifying in situ analysis, meaning they try to focus on things that are in the proper place, not things that were moved from one place to another, because that leads someone to believe like this could be a hoax. Someone could have planted this shit here. And people, sadly, this is what people did throughout history to try to, push their agenda. Analysis of the U-series isotopes, thus providing a rapid and virtually non-destructive dating method back to about 300,000 years. So we are still developing methods to date things more accurately because we made so many damn mistakes in the past and these things were contradicting each other. It didn't make any sense. So for someone in the 1700s and 1800s to say that they had an accurate dating of some damn bones is complete bullshit anyway, when you just know 8th grade knowledge about how we use and develop dating methods. You just need to get a little bit more information. This is the Bible Science Association. And this is this cornball. What is his name? I don't care what his name is. Just look at his face. But just go to the Bible Science Association and his ass is going to be up there. It says, have museums withheld important fossils that would place evolution in jeopardy? Did dinosaurs live with modern plants? Apple trees, sassafras, trees, roses, and rhododendrons? And modern animals, ducks, dogs, possums, and humans thousands of years ago, as the story of creation suggests, which is the Bible? Or did dinosaurs live at a remote time millions of years ago with other extinct, strange, and unusual animals, as the theory of evolution suggests? They're pushing for the Bible. This is what they're doing. And your black ass is going to get caught up in a web if you keep on playing with these people. Here we have some more verbiage. I'm going to try to run through this quick. Unreliable dating is a major problem resulting in vague and contradictory results. Up here it says, in a new study published in Cell Reports Methods, a research team has developed a dating method that could be of great interest to archaeologists and paleognomists. And I think they're talking about paleogenomicists, because I don't even think that this is I think this is a typo in their article. But I got to check on that. And then there's the last one. The method is called temporal population structure, TPS, and can be used to date genomes that are up to 10,000 years old. So they're still developing this as we speak. This is brand new information. This is Niels Steensen. This guy said not only was Niels Steensen a Danish scientist, but he was a pioneer in both anatomy and geology. As a scientist who also became a Catholic bishop, he surmised that the entire geological history of the earth was isolated in a span of 6,000 years. So this idea of the young earth is not new. It's actually old. James Hutton is also another person who was involved in creating these or helping create the dating methods. And at the time, they did not have the ability to date the human bones yet. Okay, they're not there. They were just looking at things that they were encased in. Okay, so the other part I needed to go to, and I'm almost done, y'all, because I'm about to tie it all back in. Where is it at? I got it mixed in here. Is there a motive? Okay, this footprint right here. All right. Is there an agenda behind the fossil footprint, right? as you dig deeper into this, right, and you go into this book right here. Let me see. I think I still got it up. Is it on this one? Yeah, this is American Antiquarian and Oriental Journal, 1885. Right, and this is, I'm just reading this from here for all of y'all who've seen it before. This is kind of blurry and shit, but I'm gonna read it from right here. Okay, on page 151 of his profound work, Mr. Priest says a few miles south of Bracetown, which is at the headwaters of the Tennessee River, are found impressed on the surface of the solid rock a great number of tracks, as turkeys, bears, horses, and human beings, as perfect as they could be made on snow or sand. The human tracks are remarkable for having uniformly 6 toes each, like the anakims of Scripture. One only excepted, which appears to be the print of a Negro's foot. So as you remember, what we read up here, or what we saw up here in this video, and you heard him 3 times in his book talk about these this Mormon belief. I'm just going to go straight to it.
Lucifer for himself, he convinced the spirits that fought, sent to this world, they would forever be denied bodies of flesh and bone. Those who remained neutral in the battle were cursed to be born with black skin. This is the Mormon explanation for the Negro race.
You see? So this is this is what this whole shit is. Like, this dude's whole plot is to support the Bible, the Mormon belief specifically, and that's why he keeps saying that over and over and over. And that's about it. I don't think I skipped over anything. What is this dude saying right here?
Okay, so in the book, he said he found million-year-old bones, right?
That's what Yahweh was saying.
Yes, but in the book, it states that the world is, but the humans are what, 6,000 to 10,000 years old?
Yep, the young Earth theory. With 6,000 to 10,000 years old. The young Earth creationism is a form of creationism which holds as the central tenet that the Earth and its life forms were created by supernatural acts of the Abrahamic God between approximately 6,000 to 10,000 years ago.
So in the book where it states that they found those million-year-old bones, is the author of the book stating that he concurs with that information or he doesn't concur with it?
He's stating that the explanation for why those bones are encased in those rocks is because of this. Right here. Flood models. He said we were walking here. Their feet are on the rocks. The bodies are encased in the rocks because we were walking on it. This is old because that the age of that. But us as people, when we were sent here, we were walking on it in order here. And they try to use Genesis 7:11 where it says, in the 600th year of Noah's life, in the 2nd month, on the 17th day of the month, on that day, all the fountains of the great deep burst forth. And then the windows of heaven opened. So they're saying the water came from the bottom. It pushed everything up and then it started flooding. So they're saying we were walking on that. We're not millions of years old. We were walking on that shit that was millions of years old. But people just need to apply the Bible ideology to it to understand that we were here 6,000 to 10,000 years ago and we were walking here and we didn't even have water. We were walking on the earth, feet in there, bare, and everything was a utopia. And then we messed up and we had to be wiped the fuck out.
So the bone that in the book that Yahweh was using, is he was trying to claim that the book is actually saying that it's over 1 million years old, and the dude in the book is saying we were walking during that time. So if you find bones during this time where these rocks are supposed to be at a certain date, that's because the flood happened and it pushed everything up, correct?
Right.
All right.
And we were encased in it. He's not saying that they're not even dating bones. They're just explaining an out of place relic. how the bone can't be there because the human being is not that old. So they're trying to explain why the bone is out of place. That's their explanation for it.
Okay.
And yeah, that's it, y'all. I'm done. Oh, wait, yeah, hold on. There's one more thing, because he did say books are more credible than articles. Books, as well as articles, are only as credible as the credible information they hold, combined with the level of reviewing they undergo or lack thereof. For example, if the 6 words in the title were found in a published book and everyone who reviewed it had no experience in academic studies, would that statement hold up? The statement is clearly inaccurate, as articles and books can both be poorly reviewed, cited, and edited. Ultimately, articles and books from scholarly, peer-reviewed, academic, and refereed journals will exceed articles and books from popular and trade journals. And that guy's book doesn't make any of those genres. And I'm not.
You know who made that statement?
Me. Oh, wait, who? The response or the original statement?
The original statement.
That was Yahweh. Lord Yahweh said that. He said books are more credible than articles. And the dude's book was full of articles. That was crazy. It was the weirdest shit.
Okay, Port, you can come up now.
But yeah, all right, I'm about to drop down.
Alrighty.
Peace, fam. Can you hear me?
What up? Yeah, we hear you.
All right, let me make sure I get my camera right. Okay.
Let me know when you're about to start so I can screen record.
Okay, I'm testing everything out real quick. Give me a minute. See that? Can y'all see that?
Yeah.
Hang on real quick.
Hold on.
Go ahead, it's all good. Try to fix this. Peace to the chat, fam. Peace. We gonna get this started. Can y'all see that? Okay, family. I ain't gonna get started.
Hold on. You ready?
I think so. Mine ain't gonna be that long than Mo's. Mo's was nice. I like that. That was killer. But we gonna knock it out. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
And can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm about to start recording. Hold on.
All right, go. I think I'm ready.
Okay, go ahead.
All right, family. Peace, family. Tonight's presentation is gonna be debunking Earthspeaks. I'm gonna pull my slides up real quick. We're gonna see what Earthspeak got to say real quick.
Like they were privy to, and they was not privy to this information.
They got this information from our people. The Mayans had all of it. Man, they had it all, man.
All right, and y'all hear what he just said, right? Now, Earthspeaks is what you call a Mayanist, right? Or in better terms, a hyper diffusionist. Now, family, what is a hyper diffusionist, right? I'm going to exit out of this real quick just to show you the definition of what a hyper diffusionist is, or hyper diffusionism is. We're going to go to right here. I'm not sure if you guys can see this, but you guys need to look up hyper diffusionism. Okay? The definition of hyper diffusionism is as reads. It says it is a pseudo archaeological hypothesis suggesting that certain historical technologies or ideas originated with the simple people or civilization before their adaptation by other cultures. So, by definition, it means you just making stuff up as you go. And that's what Earthspeaks is. That's what he's teaching and stuff like that. When you hear him talk about Maya and the origin of civilization coming out of Yucatan, right? So I'm gonna go back to my slides real quick if I can find it, and then okay. So this book right here that Earthspeaks quotes from is titled Queen Mu and the Egyptian Sphinx. Okay, now a quick Google search, and you'll see that the author is named Augustus Le Plongeon, or Le Plongeon, however you want to pronounce that, right? That is this guy right here, right? So who is Augustus Le Plongeon? Well, Augustus Le Plongeon was a hyperdiffusionist. He was a Mayanist. He thought that the creation of civilization, or the cradle of civilization, originated in the Yucatan. Right? Now, he was a photographer and an amateur archaeologist. A quick Google search, you'll see that his writings contain notions that was not well received by his contemporaries and were later disproven. His legacy left, with his photographs. He went down to the Yucatan in the 1800s to take a bunch of pictures with his wife, Alice. I'm not going to show you a picture of her real quick, but I'm just going to kind of go over these slides real quick. Right here in encyclopedia.com, it says right here he was an amateur archaeologist. When he went down there, he was under the pre-notion that civilization started there. So any type of artifacts that he was pulling up, he already automatically thought that it predate the Egyptians. Now, going back to this book, he wrote this book when he was down in the Yucatan, when he had the pre-notion that the Mayan civilization originated there. And guess what, family? He comes up with a story that is make-believe. This whole Queen Mu, the Egyptians never heard of no damn Queen Mu. This was a made-up story that he made up when he went down there. Him and his wife, Alice. They totally made this story up when they was down there. So I'm going to look. You're going to go real quick back. Let's look up Queen Mu, right? It says Queen Mu is a mythical Mayan queen written about by Augustus Le Plongeon and his wife. The Plongeons undertook the first excavation in the Yucatan in 1875, and based on their theories about Queen Mu, on the murals and inscriptions that found there, it generally accepted that the Plongeons' theory are not supported by the archaeological evidence therefore Queen Mu is considered an actual character. So this was totally made up by him. He went down there under the pre-notion that the Egyptian civilization originated down there. So when he wrote this book, he started making up text in the book. I'm going to show you guys. Where is that? Dang it. I thought I just had it. Okay. So this is out of the book. This is out of the introduction. Now, I don't know if you guys can see these symbols, but he's saying this is Ma. And remind you now, he wrote this book from undeciphered hieroglyphics that he was looking at in the Mayan and the Yucatan. So in the book, he's making these suggestions that all of these things correlate with the Egyptian hieroglyphics, especially when Champollion was one of the first to decipher the hieroglyphics and stuff over there. Egyptology kind of blew up whenever Napoleon invaded that area and made a discovery of a lot of things. You know, when Napoleon went over there, he took a lot of scientists, but a lot of information came out of there. And so since then, everybody's been having their own opinion about the cradle of civilization, and they want to have their next big photo op. And you know, Augustus, being the photographer that he is, he went down there, he took some pictures, and he made up this story. These hieroglyphs wasn't even deciphered until 1970. Now, we talked about that in one of the last lives where the Mayan, listen to what I'm saying, people, the Mayan script didn't get fully deciphered until 1970. So Augustus Leplejon went down there and made up some stuff, pretty much. He's saying all of these symbols and stuff means Ma. When you compare them to the hieroglyphics that's in Egypt, it doesn't make no damn sense. So he was kind of making it up as he was going. He was a great photographer, one of the first persons to go down to the Yucatan area to take, you know, wonderful pictures. But at the end of the day, he was an amateur. At the end of the day, he was a pseudo archaeologist. At the end of the day, he was a hyper diffusionist, meaning that he went down there with the pre-notions that the cradle of civilization started there. And that's a cardinal rule that you break in archaeology. You don't go down there like that. But going back to the slides, let me see. This artifact right here is in the Met Museum, I believe, in New York, right? Now, this is one of the artifacts that was, let me see if I can pull that up. Yeah, this is one of the artifacts that was retrieved down there. Augustus Leplejon and his wife, Alice, spent approximately maybe 10 years down there just making up stuff. And they came across this find, and it's called Chakmul. But you can pull this up. Look up Chakmul. This is spelled Chacmol. And it has a date here where they dated it. And it's between 800 and 1250 CE Common Era. Right? So that made me laugh. Right? Because if the cradle of civilization, which Augustus suggested originated in Maya, and he's pulling up artifacts like this that are dated in the Common Era, why in Africa, right, you have this incense burner, which goes back to the Nubian kingdom and the A group, which is around 31 BC. That does not make sense. So Augustus went down there pulling up artifacts like this, right, telling the world that these artifacts predate anything, and wrote a book about it. And people laughed at him when they got back. There's an article that is in I want to say this is the New York Times. Right? So it's titled "The Cradle of Civilization," and it talks about how he made everything up. It talks about how his contemporaries disproved a lot of things that he was saying. And I mean, just think about it. The Mayan script wasn't fully deciphered until 1970. So how could he know what he was talking about as a amateur archaeologist? It just doesn't add up. If he's pulling artifacts that is like this, right, that is at least 800 to 1250 Common Era, how can that be older than this? Right? So you can see this artifact. Both of these artifacts are in America. This particular artifact is in Chicago, at the Chicago Oriental Museum, I believe. You can check this out. And then this one is at the Met Museum in New York, right? So going back, let me see if I got something else here. Another thing about Augustus, he believed that Jesus spoke Mayan as well. I'm gonna read this one thing and then I'm gonna pretty much wrap it up. But I want you guys to see that in 1800s, right, when Augustus went down there, him and his wife was pulling up artifacts that was younger than the Egyptian artifacts that was coming out of Kemet and Nubia, which is the Nile Valley civilization. You have artifacts that's coming out of there that's really, really old, goes back into antiquity. When he came back from the trip, he was considered the laughing stock in the scientific community, and he just was making up stories. Now the book is still selling because you see people like Earthspeaks preaching from the book. Let me see. Where we at? Okay, so this is from anthropology.msu.edu. It talks about how Augustus thought that Jesus spoke Mayan for some reason. Now this is the stuff. This is the shit that he be talking about, man. This is the stuff he be preaching, and he get mad when we check him. Now this is his source. This is his book. This is the author believing that the civilization that we know started in the Yucatan. But anyway, I'm gonna try to read some of this. Let me see how much I can read here. And the case that was particularly fascinating to me was Augustus Le Plongeon claimed that Jesus spoke a Mayan language. The Le Plongeons believed that the last word of Jesus had said before he died on the cross was spoken in Aramaic. I'm sorry, I might be pronouncing that wrong, but had been said in Mayan language. The theory is far-fetched and completely fabricated. Not to mention his is another perfect example of someone who is unqualified, had no evidence to support his claims. Augustus Le Plongeon was a British archaeologist, a photographer, I just said that, and a hyperdiffusionism. He believed in hyperdiffusionism. I just said that, right? In fact, Le Plongeon believed that the Mayan site in the Yucatan had been the cradle of civilization, and that the Mayan had traveled east first to Atlantis and later to Egypt. The Le Plongeons suggested that Maya and the Aramaic languages were similar to each other and had made contact. The theory states that Mayan language was probably acquired in Egypt, brought over by Mayan colonists way before Jesus' time. He believed that Maya had built the Egyptian pyramids, according to Le Plongeon, and Mayan language contains and it composed of various Greek words, which is also false. Pseudo-archaeologists who support this particular theory agree that the sentence last said by Jesus, Hila Hila La Mahama, I'm not going to pronounce that, was in Mayan. And as a result, the people who stood near Jesus could not understand what he had said. Much like other pseudo-archaeologists, we have studied the semester. Leplejon uses structure artifacts and documentations that belong to Egypt and Maya and took them out of context because he believed in hyperdiffusionism. The argument that Jesus spoke Mayan language, the argument that Jesus spoke the Mayan language would have given his theories validation. For this claim to be considered or taken seriously by experts, archaeologists, there should be some foundation which it lacks. So it lacks foundation is pretty much what they're saying. If the Aramaic, I can't pronounce that dang word, say my life. If the Aramaic and the Mayan language had in fact ever interacted, not only would there be documentation, right? Because that's what we're looking for. There would be documentation, but we would have seen mixing of two languages, which we don't see. As a result, there will be loan words. Let me move down a little bit. We would also see records of both groups mixing with the Maya people would probably be mentioned in the Bible. The story of Jesus and his wife were documented. It is hard to believe that if he did speak Maya, it would have been kept a secret. There would be evidence on how and from who he learned it. There are the details that the Leplegions leave out and was not able to do much else because his theories were discredited. Another interesting detail was the Leplegions also was an accomplished linguist who expertise in the Yucatan Maya was acknowledged even by colleagues who disregard his ideas about Mayan history. It is difficult to understand his motivations or what he was hoping to achieve other than validating his own ideas. However, because this is clearly not true, there is no evidence for any interaction and zero contact. The Leplegions was a celebrated. I forgot where I missed my space. Hang on. The Leplegions was a celebrated photographer who was innovative in his documentation of the ruins found during his expeditions in Central America. For a while, he was respected. For a while, he was a respected photographer and archaeologist. But eventually, not only were his theories of hyper diffusion was proven false, he also became ridiculed and ostracized for them. So there you have the family. Augustus Leplejon was a hyper diffusionist. He was a person who pretty much didn't know what the hell he was talking about. He thought he had some deciphered Mayan script, which he didn't have, which wasn't discovered until, or wasn't fully deciphered until like 1970. He's pulling up artifacts that were still young than Kemet. So all of that stuff that these brothers be trying to preach on TikTok, we got to chop through it. And this ain't a diss. This is just us really going through the evidence. We picked up the book that he's trying to preach to us on TikTok, and like this is where he got his stuff from. Family, this is Augustus Leplejon, and this dude said this shit in the 1800s. And we got brothers like this dude. I ain't gonna call him a brother because I don't know what's going on with his African mind. I ain't even gonna say what I'm gonna just be quiet. But just listen to what he got to say.
They were privy to, and they was not privy to this information. They got this information from our people. The Mayans had all of it. Man, they had it all. Man.
Y'all see that? I'm done.
All right, hold on, I gotta save it. All righty.
Yeah, fam. Look that up.
I'm waiting on my stuff to download to my phone. Hold on. I got 30 more seconds.
Thank y'all. Appreciate y'all. Appreciate y'all. (1970) is when he deciphered that joint. Uh,
Oh, I thought it was done. Hell, it ain't done.
Now I forgot to add that the Maya script is what, about 300 to 800 some odd BC compared to the Egyptian
Yeah,
3800.
300 BC.
Yeah, yeah, and the Egyptian script is about 3800 plus BC. There's no comparison.
Dang, this is taking all day. Come on. Okay, nope. I thought that was it.
Now, mind y'all, they blocked us, right? Because we were spitting out these heavy facts, and we all got blocked for it.
Yep. All right, let's see. Come on. All right, it pulled up.
Well, you
Now,
good?
won't y'all take a look at this right here?
Are you doing yours?
Yeah.
I need to get out the box then.
All
That
right.
way, that way you had a full joint.
It don't matter to me. They can, as long as they can see it. All right, I can drop it down. Hold on.
Or put me to the side.
Yo, my shit ain't working. All right, I gotta switch the green screen so y'all can actually see what I'm talking about. Now I'm gonna go and hit screen record. Okay, hold on.